In this video, we're going to learn about the ability to convert your stitch-based designs into editable outline-based designs, and that means that you'll be able to, do large size changes, add underlay stitches, change the style of stitching, and really edit the designs that you purchased. And so to get started, why don't I click on my design finder where I have selected a cute little cupcake in PES format. We'll go ahead and open that up. And I just want to point out by looking in the sequence view that all of these colors are simply a group of stitches. So each one, if I were to expand all of the colors, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. The whole design is made up of stitches. However, if I want to edit the design, I can select it and right click. And this is where you will find the ability to convert to outlines. And essentially it will create artwork shapes that are filled in with stitches that are completely editable. And so we have two options. There's the basic and the advanced. Let's do the basic first. So when I choose convert to outlines, it just does the process automatically. If I look at these colors now, you'll see that there are a whole number of pieces to them. It's no longer one little piece. The good news is this makes our design very editable. So if we want to select our design and resize it to a new size, the software can generate new stitches. And so if I hit undo, there was 1,800 stitches, and after I resized it, it has 2,300, and so it's able to generate new stitches by creating these outline shapes. And now we can select those outline shapes and work with their properties, and you'll notice that it makes a number of outline shapes because it's looking for a pattern, and sometimes when it sees the design going forward, it'll call it a run stitch. So really this run stitch was probably originally the underlay for the satin stitch that follows, but the program simply called this one run stitch and this one satin stitch. And that's kind of how it works. But the good news is it means that you can make drastic size changes to your designs. And not only that, you could select that satin path and change its style of stitching. So I hid the properties box. Let me just turn that back on again. So you can see down here that up in the top now, when I select a satin path, I have properties for that satin path. And when I select a run stitch, I have properties for that run stitch. So I can control the stitch length of my underlay, and I can control the density of my satin stitch. I can also click here to choose a different kind of stitch. So instead of a satin stitch, I could do a patterned fill. And so this is the real benefit of converting stitches into outlines, is that it makes the design more easily and more editing capabilities. Yeah, so that's, let's do this. I'm going to click undo until we get back to where the design started, all in stitches. This time when we select it, if we right click and choose the advanced option, then what the program gives us is the ability to remove the original underlay stitches. So it's only going to keep the fill stitches. And that would be helpful if you wanted to change the kind of underlay or change the kind of element and want to change the underlay style at the same time. So we can remove underlay either simple, aggressive, or none. So we'll go with aggressive, get rid of as much of the underlay as possible. And then if there are any of these elements that were made like with a left side and a right side, we can ask it to merge them together. So what happens is now when it converts it, you'll notice that there will be a lot less pieces over on the right hand side. And in the case of the pink, there's really just one shape. And so now I can take control of it in the properties box. I have a tab for the style of stitching. I can choose which pattern that I want. I have a tab for the underlay. I can choose with checkbox which kind of underlay stitching I want. I can combine more than one style together. And so really I'm able to take ownership of the way the design stitches by converting the stitches into outlines. And so I hope that you found this interesting, and I'm sure that there's lots that you can learn by experimenting with your own designs. And of course, we're always happy to help if you have questions. But this video has been all about the ability to right-click and convert your stitch-based designs into outlines, and then the beginning of being able to select them and make changes.